We have our solar eclipse on the 8th of April in Pisces. So it's happening on the 8th. We've heard a lot about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what this eclipse actually does to the crypto market. But welcome everybody to Crypto Angles podcast number 54. I think we're on 54. My name is Kelita, Sahliah. I'm a mother, a real angel, and of course I dabble in crypto because this is why you are here. So if you are new, we use astrology of the sky. So you may have thought, if you're into mainstream astrology, that the eclipse was happening in Aries, but it's actually not according to the visible sky. So it's different to mainstream tropical astrology, but don't believe me, check for yourself. Either grab a calendar or Google it, and you will see for yourself, or an astronomy app, that it's actually happening in Pisces, not Aries. And what we'll do, we'll go over the astrological story to see how it could be impacting the crypto market, and then we'll move on to the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. Usually there are some Gematria connections if there's noise on the world stage, but just not this episode. We'll come back to something maybe in the next episode, but yeah, let's get into it anyway. So we are going from this cycle, the 7th to the 13th, and of course we are in our solar eclipse. But remember, the moon energy generally lasts for 5 days before and 5 days after. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So price in this time likes to find its local resistance point. So that's kind of what I'm paying attention to, what I'm looking out for price to find its resistance point. But keep in mind its local resistance, but do keep in mind it lasts for 5 days. So basically, for this whole cycle, price could be in the energy of finding its resistance point. Now, where price is, it's kind of like hovering. It is kind of hovering when we get into the charts. So it's going to be interesting, like, because price likes to find its resistance point. I'm wondering if we're still in the energy of price being pulled up higher potentially. It finds its new resistance, a higher resistance, and then gets rejected. That could happen. Or where price is now, is that going to be its resistance point when the moon kicks in tomorrow? So on the charts on Monday, we'll get our new moon appearing somewhere, but we're still in the energy, so we'll have to see how it all unfolds. I kind of feel, because it is an eclipse, that's why price has been hovering. So it's like when the eclipse actually begins, then maybe we'll get it just may happen tomorrow or in this eclipse energy between the 8th and the 9th. But we'll see, because we're still in the energy technically till Saturn's day, Saturday, right here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for that. And especially because it's Pisces and an eclipse, it's like there's two ways it can go. There's two ways it can go. Eclipse can bring a shift in energy. Now, we all know we're entering into price discovery this year for many coins. So it's like we have had our jump up in the market. The market moved a little bit. So will this eclipse energy, will it give the shift necessary to bring price down potentially after it finds its resistance point, its local resistance, before it finds its new support on this full pink moon on the 24th of April? Will it be that shift necessary for further continuation? Or is price going to pull it even higher? When I say the shift necessary, that retest that is needed in the market, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's been super overextended. It really has. So will this eclipse energy bring that retest shift that we need, or will it pull it up higher, just creating a new level of resistance even higher. So we'll see when we get into the charts. But this Pisces energy as well, because it is Pisces, it's water, so I'm seeing a bit more volatility potentially, whether that's up or down. But because Pisces is that water element, and you can see all here, Pisces fueled by Jupiter and Neptune, and the element is water. Don't know all the symbols. It is on the calendar, and of course you lot can grab the calendar on Etsy. There is a 10% off. It's just a digital version. Now you can feel free to grab the old calendar if you want to just backdate anything, confirmation, but it is there and there's 10% off. Okay, so do grab it and you can follow along for this whole year. Anyway, so it is Pisces, water element, so I'm seeing potential volatility. And then as this Libra, this is a Libra full moon, where balance may come in. So it's going to be interesting. Let's just see how each cycle goes and what this eclipse energy does. We're also getting Venus having a CETUS watery dip as she entered into Venus, dipping down into CETUS and then back up into Pisces again. Venus does represent the material physical reality. It is all of your six senses: sight, taste, touch, hearing, smell, as well as intuition. It covers money as well, as that's a big part of the material. And again, she's in Pisces. CETUS is water as well, so it's kind of just telling me the physical realities in this volatile kind of state when it comes to money as well. So do keep that in mind. It may be like extra volatility as well. We do have the sun in Pisces because it's currently in Pisces. It moves to Aries here. So again, volatility through water. And of course we're getting Mars in Pisces as well. So it may be an interesting reaction. That's what I'm seeing when it comes to the astrological story. But this isn't going to be the longest video. Mama's kind of tired. I'm probably hearing my voice. So we're going to jump into the technical analysis right now. So this is BTC. It is Bitcoin. And as you can see, it's just in its little triangle phase. So this is where I'm saying when it comes to the moon, going back to the moon, let's put these on. Just go into the actual moon. We had our local support here when we had our, oh, it was in the old calendar. I can't show you my desktop to open up that because it's so messy. Oh gosh. But we had our full moon coming in here in March. So this is where Bitcoin found its local support, and I'm seeing that quite a lot of coins are doing similar to Bitcoin right now. Like they'd had a jump up and then they've come down, some further than how Bitcoin has come down, but then they're kind of coiling up. So this is where, when this new moon appears, will it appear here, and will this be the potential? Can I put like a sticker or something, or a box? Let me put on a box. Here we go, a rectangle. So when this new moon appears, which it shows up red, oh gosh, sorry, all the drawings are there now. All the drawings are there. Oh, move. Ow, sorry. Could it appear up here? Would that be Bitcoin's resistance level, and then it comes down to find its new support when we're getting ready to enter into this full moon energy? Could it come down? Could it literally just try and find support off here, or could it come down further? Or is the option of the moon, because remember, price likes to be drawn up, and once you find its clear resistance level, you're then potentially, or there's an opportunity to short it. So that's what the new moons do. Could price be pulled up a bit higher? Oh, not going as far as 80. Where is it? Could it be pulled up higher, even to that 80 mark, before retesting further down? Now, I don't feel that that option would be healthy if we're pulled up even to like 80 or something. don't feel that option would be healthy, but it's going to be interesting to see how this eclipse energy works. Okay, it's really going to be interesting. But I'm seeing them two potential options, or literally kind of like where it is now, and the moon kicks in. Will that be it? Causing a further retest, or are we just coiling up in a triangle right now, getting ready to pop out? Is that happening? I mean, I know this is on the line one, not the candle wicks. And if you can hear the wind, it's been oh so windy. It's kind of like picking up that eclipse energy, I guess. Neptune, Poseidon's doing its thing. But we're kind of in this little triangle. So it's like, will we pop out of this triangle, find our resistance just above it, or even higher? Or will this potentially be our resistance level, and could we be pushed further down, getting ready to find our new support? But then obviously, what would that level then be? We're getting our Batman head on the RSI. We are getting our Batman head, but just going on larger time frame, as you can see on the W time frame, we're super extended, so you can see that clearly. But just zoomed in on the daily, it looks like we've got a nice structural support. It could be a temporary support, this little trading cluster here, but it's fairly weak. Like, we've not got a lot of trading happening in this space, which tells me, especially if we can't hold this zone, if we do get rejected at this level, if we can't hold this zone at 66, we most definitely would come down at least to the 52 region. Might not go down this far, but if we can't hold that, a little cluster at 59, but here's looking a bit more likely, if we do retrace back deeper. But as I says, we have been trading within this parallel channel for a while, so even if there's like a black swan event, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if price comes back down to the top of this. And if they really want to black swan the people and create a wick, I wouldn't be surprised if it enters back into this parallel channel, if there is some crazy pullback in the market. But ultimately, a pullback is due. It's due. Look at it. It's just gone up. It's not looking the healthiest if we're pulled up even further. But it could do that, you know, the market, it really could do that. But will it like reset, give the eclipse, give us that energy necessary to shift the energy to pull it down so it can continue on up and go on to create higher highs, new all-time highs throughout summer? You know, so that would be healthy. The Bitcoin halving is happening this month, people. It is happening this month. I believe it's literally in between the moon cycles, so it's like somewhere in the teens, I believe. But the Bitcoin halving is happening. So would we get some type of pullback when it comes to the Bitcoin halving as well, when price ultimately is getting ready to find its new local support? Where would this full moon be to find its local support? Will it be here? Would it be even higher than this point? Or would it be here, or somewhere here? It's going to be interesting. This cycle will be interesting. I feel it's just seeing what's going to happen. That's what I'm seeing there. Oh, I want to go back on this. I want to check the candle. Let me just check the candles. Yeah, because this one alone just looked like, oh, these two candles that came in, the white ones, really looked like price was getting ready to go back up, and it did after creating those. It's not gone back up to as high as it has been at 37k, 74k, 37. Oh gosh, that would be lovely. But we had quite a strong wick this cycle. We went down, but then we've kind of brought it back up. So we'll see how this candle closes, because it closes tonight. It does. Oh, going back, let's just check the MACD on the larger time frame. So on the MACD, on the W, it looks like it's weakening in terms of the buying pressure. So that's interesting. We are definitely heavily overbought. We are on the RSI. On the daily though, when it wants to load, it's really not loading, is it? There we go. On the daily, we had our Batman head, and as you can see on the RSI, it's looking like it's about to hit the yellow moving average at 55. Could that be a little resistance level, as the MACD we're in the red, but it is weakening. It's kind of calming down, so that's interesting. It's kind of calming down. They're looking like they're getting ready to move, or will this just drop lower? Will the moving averages come down to the bottom part like what it usually does? I didn't do anything then. It's just a laptop doing its laptop shiznit. But that's what I'm seeing when it comes to the RSI. We've got much more room on the RSI to come further down. We've still got potentially a bit more red in there when it comes to the MACD as well. But we are above the 8 moving average. We are above that. And where are the luminaries? The luminaries are still in a good position for continuation for sure, because Saturn's at the top, Uranus, the berry line, is right at the bottom. However, price could easily come back to find its support on that. Could price find support on the 200, or even touch down, wick down into the luminaries before continuation? But it is above the 8, so could the 8 support it for a potential draw up to the new moon? Because it could happen tomorrow on the solar eclipse, or it could happen... Oh, does it got rid of my boxes? Oh, it's got rid of my boxes. It could happen on the solar eclipse, or after, you know. We could literally get that pullback, rejection, and coming down out of the triangle, or higher up. Do let me know your thoughts. What do you think it's actually going to do? But our resistance level is coming in. That's all I know. So just looking on the 4 hour, it looks like we're going sideways for a bit. Yeah, something that I've obviously noticed, we're not actually creating higher highs, and we are creating lower highs. And it's going to be interesting to see how this operates. Could that push us up to create that higher high, or are we just creating lower lows to break to the downside? But what are your thoughts? Overall, Bitcoin is definitely super extended, and a retest would be healthy, but it could also just overextend even more. It really could. I feel if we do go further on up, if price is pulled up higher into this new moon before, yeah, if it's pulled up higher, especially past this zone it was previously at, its all-time highs kind of, then I'd expect a greater pullback at any time randomly. But we are close to the halving. We've kind of, usually we have a dip days before the halving, but again, we've not had that. So could that happen just before the Bitcoin halving? That reset necessary for continuation, basically. But that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like price is super halfway now. Halfway, you know, it's just traveling sideways. Look at that. Hardly any. Let's just reset the chart so we can see this. Hold on. Oh no, I don't want you, my friend. It's kind of like the same thing. I thought we would have opened it more. But you can see that it's had hardly any trading volume happening for the past 4 hours. Like hardly anything, hardly any movement at all. It's just gone sideways for 12 hours. 8 to 12 hours, that's all it's done. Hardly anything. So is that showing a level of weakness? Or no? Yeah. We have to see how this goes. If this is just sideways action and then it's going to be pulled up, or is it showing sideways action because it's getting weak and it wants to come down, or is this whole thing going to be just a whole coil, because we're not also getting lower lows on the 4 hour, on the daily. We're not getting lower lows. It's kind of like it's literally coiling up for something. So it's coiling up for the upside or for the downside at this point. Basically. But that's all I'm seeing with Bitcoin. Let's get on to the XRP. So XRP broke to the downside of this triangle. Of course it did. Of course it did. So it broke to the downside of this triangle. Could this be what Bitcoin does as well? But we clearly found our support here. So as you can see, we've gone lower than this moon for XRP, but that wasn't the case for Bitcoin. Like the moons were creating higher ones, the full moons. But price has now gone lower than that point, and the resistance level is coming in. So are we going to get our resistance level coming in here, where price seems like it's trying to retest this last zone? Could that be a possibility? Just hide all of this. Because right now price is in between the 200 and the 55 moving average, and just like Bitcoin, it looks like it's getting that little support off of the 8. Is that EMA? No, SMA. So have I been saying the wrong? No, it don't matter. It's the SMAs. It's getting a little support, but it's wedged between them. We're getting the new moon solar eclipse energy coming in, so could price be rejected off of this level, and could we come down further, retest this, probably create this W, literally potentially a W, because look, it's gone down. Oh, it's getting super messy. Gone up. Could we get rejected at this level, and then when we enter the full moon energy, could we create that W, because price is finding resistant support there, and then continuation? Could it do that, hitting it 1, 2, 3 times, because price likes to do that? But we don't know. We'll wait and see, of course, especially if we get rejected here. Personally, if Bitcoin, my last video was like, oh, XRP breakout soon. It definitely broke to the downside. It broke to the downside. But yeah, this coin is super suppressed. But what I do like, again though, because I did say if we break to the downside, we'll probably retest this green trend line, and it has done that, which is good and it's healthy. But the biggest thing, if we can at least get above this red trend line, so above 64 would be amazing. And then the next battle is this, this further red trend line, basically. But small steps at a time. If it can break even above the 70 region at some point, then it's just even more stronger. But right now it's this 64 to 66 level. If XRP can close above that, then it's like more strength for continuation, but it's quite weak right now. However, it has back tested this green trend line 3 times, which I feel is also quite healthy, because that green triangle we were in for a minute. See, we were in it for a minute, since, what date was this? July 2023. And we were rejected off of this 1, 2 times, 3, 4, kind of got to it there. So 4 to 5 times we interacted with this line, wicked above it, came back down, and now we're on the flip side of it. So as it's retested it so many times, we're on the flip side. Though we wicked down, price ended on it back in March 2024, which was a good sign. Price found it as its support now instead of resistance, so that was healthy for XRP. Then of course it's come back, it's wicked down to it a few times and came back ultimately 1, 2, 3. So that's showing a bit of strength, but we do need to get above the red trend line, and we've come back into the parallel channel, which XRP has been trading in this blue parallel channel since its inception, like it really has. So we've come back into it. It was sat just above it, and I was like, could it just maintain being above it and then continue? But we have come back into it, and because it's been trading in it since its inception, it's still okay. Like, I would be just like, okay, this is going nowhere. If we, for some whatever reason, break out of this channel, entering into like the 45 cents region, if we get below that for XRP, it's probably not going anywhere unless it's some mad wick and then it's just brought back up quickly and then goes up. But yeah, we're still technically creating higher lows, so that's still positive. Even if we come back down to this dotted line, we still would have created a higher low. So in my head, if we come to the lower side of this parallel channel, then it's definitely showing weakness. But if we attempt to go lower, we've still definitely got up to, what's that, 54 cents for XRP anyway. It would just be concerning if we get lower than 49. If it's not just a wick and we're fully closing below it, that's when I'll be just like, what's going on? So that's what I'm seeing for XRP. I wanted to check this as well, but I didn't check it for Bitcoin, so we'll go. Interesting, there's quite a bit of volume here for XRP. That's interesting. There was less here, so people got out. See, people just like, okay, I'm getting out, not much happening. But there's quite a lot happening here, which just brings me back to all my Gematria connections. A lot of them linked to XRP. Like, are people just getting involved at the price? I want to check Bitcoin for this indicator. Okay, there's some action happening. Not a lot though. Not a lot as down here, where more people would have been getting involved. More people even lower. But people are getting involved, but just not a lot at the price it's at now, which is just making me wonder, do the market makers know something is coming? Do they know something is coming? But for XRP, it's getting even more. So that's interesting, fascinating. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing for XRP. Again, with the luminaries, they are looking okay for continuation, and XRP is not as isn't as super extended, unlike Bitcoin. It's not that far from the moving averages, the luminary moving averages. So yeah, like, again, at its worst, could it come back down, try and gain some support off of Saturn? Probably, if we get a lower dip down, but it would still be creating a lower high a higher low. Yeah, and even if it was to come down, try and get some support when the moving averages kind of catch up, when this full moon energy kicks in. The moving averages catch up, and even if it comes down to retest this green trend line one more time, just one more time close to these dotted lines, it may just find its support nicely off of Saturn, Pluto, and Mercury. So do keep that in mind for downward targets. I'm seeing, like, for continuation, I wouldn't be surprised if it does touch that 54 cents region. If it can't hold 57, like if we continue to the downside and we can't hold 57, 54 is like the next zone it could be reaching to. Yeah, it is like Bitcoin is, it's in between the 200 and the 55, so that could be pressure again to either keep it horizontal or to just make it retest these lows again. And this balancing moon energy will be interesting to see what it does. It being an air sign, could that be the thing in April during Mercury retrograde, and it's a full moon, for continuation out of this parallel channel. So for example, if the new moon appears here, it gets resisted, and the full moon appears here, and then could we continue on and up? I'm not sure. What are your thoughts for XRP? What are you seeing? Again, with the RSI, and we've not been as super overextended like Bitcoin, but it seems as if we could get rejected off this. Like, there seems a bit more room to the downside, even when it comes to the RSI and the MACD as well. They're beginning to turn, though. Like Bitcoins, it was up here, it wasn't this low. But they are beginning to turn, so we may get some more downward movement, possibly, as it begins to slope up to go up. But will it go as low as this? Is that a possibility? As low as it went here during this time zone. But I feel on both of these indicators there's still a little room to the downside, personally. Especially if the dollar's looking strong this cycle. If the dollar's looking strong, we'll see. We shall see. Let's get onto the dollar and let's finish. Okay, so I'm still gonna keep this there if price decides to finish off that measured move, but straight away, just looking at it, the dollar seems like it will be strong this cycle. I feel it's going to be strong this cycle, so then I'm seeing pairs against the dollar will be more to the downward side. Will be more to the downward side, and gold, for example, the pound, and of course crypto. So it's kind of telling me the resistance level, it may just find its resistance and then be rejected off of roundabout where the price is now. Bitcoin was stalling out. XRP looks like it at least wants to double bottom, if not go further. So yeah, and reason being is because this candle here, we've clearly broke through this little zone. We have created a higher high than this zone back in February 2024, and we broke through, and now we're retesting it. We did get slightly above the luminary moving averages, but now we are back in between them. We've been ranging in between them for a while, like what I said. But it seems like it's a basic break and retest here. So this candle structure, we've had a doji, we have had a doji right there. Oh, confirmation burp, excuse me. So we've had like a doji candle, which can show trend reversal, and even though it's on a smaller scale, we've come down and it's like, oh, doji, like price is getting ready to turn around. And we already went up, but we were brought back down again. And of course these markets open tonight 10 p.m. GMT time. Well, it opens, but then it closes for a bit, and then opens properly at 11. It's like that's their hour break. So when it goes during the 7 days, it stops at 10, closes for an hour, and then opens again at 11 p.m. So that's interesting. So, yeah, it seems as if it's a trend reversal for continuation to the upside. And of course, if we then even create a higher high above this zone, we may, like, I don't know, you see, if Bitcoin has the retest that it's long overdue, that's when I see the dollar potentially reaching where this green line is, that 107 region, basically. And that truly would give Bitcoin the retest necessary. And for the altcoins that have overextended, the ones like Floki, for example, and even Shiba Inu, that has done, Floki done like 1,000%. I think Shiba done close to 1,000. So Bonk as well. We've got some alts that need to just retest a little bit better for more structural support. And of course, if the dollar is to make a higher high and fill out this potential measured move, then that may just be the pullback in crypto that we've all been anticipating. And I don't know, I feel that would be a nice play. We reach up here, especially if we break past this point, and if we just continue, that's the pullback in crypto. However, we'll get rejected off of this point, potentially creating a double top, like what I was saying. So potentially creating a double top, coming back to this zone, a double top with, since 2023, creating that massive double top, and when it stalls out, it's clearly its resistance, and then we come back down, creating this massive M, essentially. Then we come back down, and if we get rejected at that zone, that would then be the bull run. That would be the bull run then, essentially playing out. So where it's just making legs and legs when this is just falling down and down. But that's what I'm potentially seeing. At this point, we're definitely just breaking through and retesting. So I'm more obliged for continuation up rather than down. Now, if the market opens on Monday and if we break down here and reject and then come down, that's also a possibility. And on a smaller scale, we're kind of creating another M. But I wouldn't be surprised if the dollar just shows some strength. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it would be more healthy too. So, but obviously it will do what it's gonna do, because if it's just showing weakness and then just comes down, then that's just more overextended for the crypto market, which again just isn't healthy. It's just going to be an inevitable harder fall later. But obviously when it comes to XRP, there's not much room to fall. So this is where I still feel XRP may just move by itself when it's ready to move at some random point in time. Yeah, with the MACD on the DXY, there's still probably a bit more room to show a bit more green. There is the RSI. Yeah, even the RSI, just on the daily, we don't even need to go down on smaller time frames. It's seeming like there's a bit more room for it to go up. Or we could get rejected at that level and then come down. So we'll see, but I am seeing as possibly a bit more stronger, the DXY, which may make crypto a bit more weaker this cycle. They found their resistance because of the solar eclipse, this new moon energy, new moon, no moon. So yeah, the dollar may be stronger. Interesting, but I feel that would just be healthy for crypto to have its resistance at that level and come down a little bit lower to find its new support. But that is what I'm seeing with this cycle. Thank you for joining me. It was a quicker, shorter video today. Crypto Angles podcast number, is it 54 or 55? I can't remember. I cannot remember. But thank you for joining me. Do grab this calendar so you can follow along as it goes all the way into March 2025. Make sure you use Lumin 10, all caps, Lumin 10 for 10% off, and you can grab it. I do offer birth chart readings as well if anyone's interested in that, in alignment with the visible sky. But thank you for joining me for this episode, and I shall see you in the next one. Do let me know your thoughts. But with that being said, Angel out. Bye.